Man, it's Taylor Gang, I die.
Who you with?
Reec.
Yeah. Who you with?
Who you with?
Back at it again, baby. And if you family with my family, then we family. She back in the building. The Unapologetic Angie is in here. What's up, mama?
What's up, Reec? Good to see you.
You too. We got a little catching up to do.
Of
First
course.
and foremost, I want to say congratulations on everything that's been going on with Aunty Angie's house.
Thank
and
you.
what you're doing for them babies is incredible.
Thank you. So much.
I really enjoy the work that you're doing. And especially with that, because there's so many kids out here that just need the right kind of representation, because they are just underserved, underheard, and overwhelmed at times.
That is true.
So thank you for that, and congratulations. The Kennedy is in office, in position. I know you had a lot to do with that, because you was hitting me up, say we doing this brunch over here. I'm introducing these people over here, and I appreciate you, reaching out to me to, allowing us to get the introduction and stuff like that. But let's jump into it, because you sent me a song.
I did.
You sent me a song, and I was like, okay, I know the line of messaging that you push, and having music sometimes gets people to hear a message without them knowing they're hearing a message.
That is so correct.
Okay.
That is so correct. And it's good to be back here with you. And yes, RFK did get in. One of the things about me, like why I reached out to you, is because I wanted to make it my duty that I connected him with people in the community that I know are really doing the work. I'm not taking the credit from nobody else, but it's a lot of us been doing the work for years.
Right,
you know
right,
what
right.
I'm saying? And we don't necessarily get the recognition or the backing that we need in order to, and a lot of times we do the work out of pocket
all the time in my ways.
So it's just time for them to come on in, for the people that's actually doing the work.
Right. That's making a difference out here. Boots to the ground, hands in their own pockets. And some people are getting these grants and funding, and then we don't see the work. But I'm not trying to call anybody else, say anything bad. I'm just saying that's just the reality of the situation. So to see what you're doing, and then man, it's just dope. It's real dope.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So how did this whole thing come about, and what made you want to put like an actual, music to the message?
Oh, wow. Well, it's I guess because today is the day before my birthday, right? My
Happy
birthday.
Hold on. There we go.
and since we talking about birth,
right.
so all of us got here one way. We were birthed by our mothers,
right?
And so something just struck a chord with me, like with all of the vitriol and everything that was happening during Trump's first administration.
Yeah,
and I just had my eyes close on the movement of Black Lives Matter, the statement, and everything.
Right.
And it just dawned on me that Black life begins in the womb. And it just made my fight even that more important. So, I just wanted to stand for life, stand for Black life, and just restore the value of life. Because so many times, in a lot of messaging, the first message is abortion is being praised, is being applauded. And none of us got here by abortion.
Right. That's true.
That's just about
not one single person.
Not one of us. So I just want to
true.
kind of set the tone a little bit to restoring the value of life, and just letting women know while we're experiencing a maternal health crisis. And a lot of women are afraid, to birth their children, and are looking at, abortion as the only option, that they have support and they have help, bringing life into this world. And I think that it's time for us to, preserve our race, maintain our race, feed into our race. Like, if we want to change things, we got to start at the very root of the cause, right?
The beginning of life.
Yep. Life begins in the womb.
I do. You know what? I actually enjoy having people such as yourself that stand on something, right? For one, but we can have these conversations, and it doesn't have to turn emotional. And like, it's okay for everyone to have their own opinions and their own beliefs, right? But let's back them by facts. One, and then two, let's have a conversation without somebody trying to agitate it to where we can't have the conversation.
Politics has taught me, because people that have watched my journey, they've seen me go from Democrat to Republican and now independent, where I'm going to stay, because I realize it's really people over party. It's not really so much about the party, but it's like at the end of the day, when we get done with all of the arguing, like we actually agree, like everybody wants to help support mothers and children, mothers who choose life, or mothers who want to know that they have support, to bring a child into this world.
Right.
It is, a hard situation. I lived it. I did it. I had 5. So they need that support. And why can't we give it to them?
We should. I went through, I'm not a mother. Let me make sure I don't say this in a way that rubs people the wrong way. I catch cancel on here. My youngest daughter, the way she came into this world was a very traumatic situation. We went to the hospital because her mom was feeling discomfort. I said, let's go to the hospital. I'm one of them. Like, my daughter coughing, let's go to the urgent care. Right. You know what I mean? Right. The helicopter daddy when it comes to health, right? So I'm like, all right, she's a healthy person, so she's feeling discomfort. Let's go to the hospital. We go to the hospital. They're like, oh, there's nothing wrong. Send her home. I'm like, how you feeling? A couple hours later, she like, you know, we've told this story, so I'm not trying to put her business out there. So we go back, and I tell this story for anybody. You got to trust your instinct. You know what I mean? We went back to the hospital. They did the same thing. They like, you know, and I was like, we get in the car, looked at her. She looked at me. I'm like, we going somewhere else. So we went to a different hospital, you know what I'm saying? Went to Kennestone and Marietta, and they immediately admitted her. And luckily, the doctor on call was a doctor who delivered one of my other kids. So he was like, let's get her in, let's check and make sure. And then she ended up having to have an emergency C-section that night because something was not right. You know what I mean? 88 days later, we in the NICU for 88 whole days because she came 3 months early. But had we not trusted our instinct, we'd have been brushed off and anything could have happened. We could have lost both of them.
You know, that's so true. And I think that's one of the things that's causing a lot of fear right now. And that's one of the things that I'm trying to fight against, because I think me and you can both attest to this. Because I grew up, my grandmother had 10 children. Mm-hmm, she had all 8 of her children at home in the shed with a midwife. She didn't go to the hospital. So to see Black women going from giving birth to 10, 12, you know, 20 children to saying that now they're dying from giving birth to one. After we just watched Octomom pop out 8 babies at a time with no complications, just, you know, it makes you think. And then when I use my common sense, you know, my common sense tells me that would be almost similar to like all the, you know, Black dogs dying, or the Black cows, or the Black bears. It doesn't make sense. You're telling me that the most natural thing known to man, we all got here everything got here that way. Life begins with a seed, right? So every living being on this earth got here through birth. And now all of a sudden we have a crisis when it comes to the very existence and creation of life. And for me, I'm not against anybody that's in the movement, because we got a lot of activists out here. I've learned that this is just my space, and we need to be everywhere. So if Aunty Angie is over here at the very beginning, and I can nurse the mother and the baby through, and then next thing is education, and I got to pass them on to you, like, it takes a village. It does. And that's the perfect way to look at it. It's like a streamline. I can handle this part. All right, and I'm going to move you to him. They need to be educated. Okay, what's missing from the educate nutrition? All right, you handle that part. So it's just like you creating this umbrella of community. Exactly. That starts with life. The beginning of life. Because if nobody alive, we won't have community anyway. So listen, if your mama didn't have you, you wouldn't be here to debate about life or choosing life at all. Right. So I am very much in support of having the resources for life and health. I'm very much so for that. So what you're providing through your nonprofit organization and through your movement, I'm definitely in support of that. And I think everybody should be. Who wouldn't want people to have healthy babies? And that's true. And it's like when we get past politics, because the issue is people, they take Aunty Angie's house, my nonprofit work, and then they take Angela Stanton King, this outspoken political figure. But people don't understand when they check the receipts that I use politics as a tool to help my community. I've been doing community work for over 20 years. It's just something that's just in my heart and in the essence of who I am, because it's the community that I come from. And I know that if you want different, you can have different. So just a walking, living testimony to the place that I come from. So I'm not going to let anybody run me away, because I feel like if God has given me favor with RFK in the HHS and Trump in the White House, you know, I would be very selfish to not use that favor to service the community that I say I love. And for you to say that, I hope people are really listening to what you're saying, because it makes so much sense.
Like, we can't change the outcome of elections, but what we can do is change the outcome of our situations through our approach to it.
Exactly. And when it comes to community, you know, those of us that are going to do for the community, we see a lot of people, you know, on TV, and they're supposed to be spokesperson for us or represent us. But do you see them active out here in the community? And we have to get to a point where we are all people over party, because it doesn't matter what party is in power. We need to be advocating for what we need, right? Like,
absolutely.
Trump ain't going to come to the hood and say, okay, we need an Aunty Angie's over here, or a Reec family farm over here.
Right.
I got to go to the White House and say, Trump, we got an Aunty Angie's and a Reec family farm, right? We have to take the message to them. Yeah. Right. And if we're doing that, and we're using our power that we have and our leverage in every political party to get what we need for our community, then there's really nothing to fight about.
That's real. I saw people quick to cancel other people for even standing next to Trump or standing next to the president or taking meetings. I'm like, how can you be mad at somebody for at least trying to have the conversation? Like, what's the point of just ignoring that it happened? We got to at least start somewhere.
And I think people are more so in their emotions, because they have to understand. To me, I've always looked at it like a business deal. Like when I go get my nails done, right? Like, several times I'm getting my nails done, and I feel bad energy. Maybe you don't like me, but I'm still giving you my money. When I go to the gas station,
I want good service.
Indian own the store, right? It's still a transaction. He don't like me. He don't want me in his presence. When I go to JJ's Fish, you know, they still got the seasoned salt on the chain, right? And the glass up. They don't have the seats down. They don't like me, but I'm giving them. It's a business transaction. So when you take emotions out of it, you know what I'm saying, and you understand that this is business, right? I mean, people would be crazy. I would be crazy to listen to people to tell me, if I got to you mean to tell me I got direct access to Trump and RFK, and I ain't supposed to use it because niggas mad?
That makes zero sense.
Finna come out.
Yeah, right. But it makes no sense when you say it that way.
And one of them gave me a pardon, and the other gave me a position.
Come on now.
A senior advisor to the head secretary of the Health and Human Services.
Of one of the most powerful last names in this nation. Come on, man. Like, I mean, the facts are the facts, and that's all we're talking about right now.
And the facts are that we have a maternal health crisis that needs to be addressed in this nation. That we have a mental health crisis that needs to be addressed in this nation. Right. Okay. We have a poverty crisis. Right. Because a lot of people get upset with me, you know, on the other side, on the Republican side, because I am for reparations. Right. And they were like, well, Angela, why are you for reparations? Well, because if you're telling me that Black women are aborting their children because of poverty, then what would happen if they were financially stable? Right. Like it doesn't make sense.
My problems are tied to a bigger picture here.
And y'all got all this money to send to Ukraine and everywhere else. But the message to American women, especially young Black American women, is abortion. And I just want to deliver a different message and let them know that they got help and they got support, and we love them.
Yeah, absolutely. We need that. We need a lot more love and self-love, because sometimes we put our values in people that don't care about what happens when we get pregnant. Right. Exactly. And if we have more love across the board, I ain't gonna get too deep into it. Y'all know I go down these rabbit holes. Then some of these things won't even be an issue. So we can be with people that will make sure that we having healthy babies. That's a whole nother situation. I'm sorry. But real, it's real. I mean, we out here fighting a fight on different fronts. You know what I mean? And I don't care if you get irritated or agitated with this young lady's messages. Sometimes you got to look at the facts of some things that you're saying and look at the platform that you're standing on, especially with Aunty Angie's house, and then see you standing next to these people, but also what you telling them. You know what I mean?
That's very important, and what I'm advocating for, and what I'm fighting for. Right. So that's why it was, for me, again, important to come to an independent space where we realize that it's people over party, because I know Democrats, Republicans, Libertarians, I know them all. You know, somewhere along the line we agree. Yeah. You know, and if we can focus on what we agree on and be solution based, then we can begin to see things change and things change for the better.
We need that. We need more of that. So talk to me about what you have coming up that we need to be, like, you know, tapped into or stay focused on.
Wow. So mainly trying to eradicate the maternal health crisis. Like it has to go. I've never heard of such a thing. It's just almost insane to believe that, you could die. The numbers, Georgia is number one right now for not only the maternal health crisis, but for the infant mortality death rate. And so when we think about just life as itself, this is something that has to be addressed. Healthy eating, making America healthy again. Right now, that's my whole entire focus, because I believe that a lot of the things that we're experiencing in the Black community are, or can be contributed to the things that we eat. I'm
seeing that. We seeing so many things getting banned that you can't have in other countries, but I'm looking at it like, oh, that's a staple of a regular Black childhood. We got Cheetos, Red 40, Kool-Aid, Skittles, and we love them.
Every kid, Takis, and the sad thing about it is, as we get older, we begin to see things differently because we mature and wisdom comes along. But it's like, you do see that in certain communities. There's no Whole Foods. There's no Sprouts.
It's food deserts. You got to get your bananas from a gas station if they have them.
It's liquor stores and churches, right, on every corner, right?
And churches, chicken, and the churches,
right? Exactly. So it's like, our health, our mental health. Mental health is a big issue for me right now. Even when it comes to criminal justice reform, one of the things that I know Trump is going to work. He went in. This man was elected, being convicted of felonies, if we just going to be honest about it. So I know that he's going to be very active when it comes to criminal justice reform. My thing with criminal justice reform is all of these people that we are letting out of prison, right? Mental health has to be addressed. Like, you can't tell me you can put somebody in a cage on a life sentence for a nonviolent crime. Keep them in a cage like a dog 20, 25 years and then let them out, and you think
he's going to be okay?
There's no issues. Right. Or 2 years in my situation, just experience a lot of trauma with, the death of a mom and a grandmother and giving birth, you know what I'm saying, in the prison. So mental health ties to just about everything that we're doing, spirituality, regardless of where you at, right? Because every person is made of what? Mind, body, and soul. The soul is the spirit. However you find your peace. But we need to sow more into that, and financial literacy. Right? Why are people going to jail? Crimes of survival. They poor, poverty.
Right.
Reduce crime. You want to reduce crime, you have to reduce poverty.
The more options, the less crime, especially when it comes to youth crime. I promise you that. I'm telling you that. I know that for a fact. Sometimes these kids don't have an option. Some kids want the bad option, but some kids don't have an option, and that's why they're doing it.
And not only do they not have an option, we have to understand that children learn, at different levels, right? There are different stages and there are different ways of learning. So it's about, having them in schools that offer real quality education that's going to assess, right, the way that they learn, the way that they comprehend, going to provide them with opportunities that match their personalities, their lifestyles. It's like when you go to school, a lot of these children are bored. Right. Some of them are smarter because they're forced to go to schools just because of their zip code or where they live at. Right. And now they're bored. Right. And we're not tapping in to that intellect. And so I think that if we're going to change anything, I think that this is the most radical administration I've ever seen.
We see it.
And I have. Look, RFK, this is what he does. He spent 40 years as an environmental lawyer. Like, he has sued several big pharma companies and already won. He even sued Trump and won. Like, that's why I never thought they would come together. But exactly. And them two coming together is just a representation of how we can all come together to work for what's best and push this country forward. And they can call them a racist all they want, but in my eyes, I can't see that. You know what I'm saying? Because again, like, Trump is the person that gave me a pardon. RFK is the person that gave me a position. You talking about a girl from the hood right here in Atlanta, Summer Hill, been to the state, been to the feds, just really turned her life around and been serving my community. Like, for me,
it's personal.
I mean, it's personal, and I have an opportunity, right, to make a difference.
Yeah, you do. And you are. I mean, you can see it. I see it with, like I said, you've supported our organization before.
Of
And it wasn't even a phone. It was, I didn't even make the call. Somebody else made the call. She was like, yeah, I got you. Pull up with tons of toys. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Just because you know what we stood on was what really is what's mattering. You know what I mean?
Correct. And
we out here doing the work, and real always going to recognize real. I don't see you as a person that can be faked in front of. I don't see you as a person that's going to tolerate any BS. And once you hear it, you're going to say something about it. And that, what other voice will we want? Because I'm just saying, in the lines of, if you in a room with those people, I don't think they could just say anything.
No, and they know that I'm not going to just go for anything. That's why I'm independent. They don't really, go for me on either side, because I stand on business, but I stand for what I believe in. And I do believe in us. I believe in our children. I believe in young Black women, you know what I'm saying, being successful.
Right.
I've, watched and experienced that generational welfare curse, you know what I'm saying? And it's just time that these things are broken, and that the only way we're going to be free is if we are financially free, right? Not only financially free, but free from their system, meaning if you got anything on your name, get it off. Speaking of that, everybody need to head to pardonprocess.com. I've created a system to help you navigate through getting your name cleared.
Let me hit the hype bell for that, because that's holding. I mean, for real, that's holding a lot of people back from their next day. I had a brother that did 11 Fed time, so when he came home, you know what I mean? It was hard for him to move forward, even though he's ready to move forward. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he programs like that were able to help him move forward in life. Nonviolent crime of circumstance. I need to make sure I get out of this situation I'm in. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely get where you're coming from.
Yep. And just to speak on that, those some of the reforms that I'm looking to see from this new administration. Like if you go to prison, you get out, and you served all your time, you paid all your restitution. Yeah. Why would you need a pardon? Why isn't your name and your rights automatically restored? Like, it's like you freeing me from prison, but you keeping me a prisoner, because now they running my name. I can't get certain jobs. I can't live in certain places. They'll even deny you life insurance, right? In some instances, just because you have a felony. So, I mean, and I think those should all be considered on a case by case basis. But non-violent crimes especially, and there should be no one serving federal time or life sentence for a non-violent drug offense. But like you got
we're not talking about Pablo Escobar here.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
I ain't talking about Pablo.
Right, you know what I'm saying? But I get what you mean.
But still, like you got when I think about Big Pharma,
right,
and how much they make, right? And I don't know how deep we want to get into that, but Make America Healthy Again is a movement. Make America Healthy Again, it has to be political, because we got to use politics to make a difference. But Make America Healthy Again is about the people. Do we realize that if these people give us a cure, that they go out of business? Yeah. So if it's just like the dope, man, if I'm selling you crack and my trap booming, it's because you addicted to what I got. You need it. You're going to keep coming back. Right. Right. So if they always give you something to cure your addiction, you ain't coming to buy. My dough ain't hitting no more. So it's like this thing is deep. And I think that I'm so excited to be a part of this moment in history.
We are too. And I appreciate it. That's why I wanted you to come up here and talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for taking the time out to chop it up with us. I'm sure they sending the Learjet for you to get up to DC to speak on our behalf. See, happy birthday to you also. You know what I'm saying? 25 again. So that's what's up.
That's right.
But I just wanted folks to hear, some of the things that were on the horizon. Obviously to tap in with the song you got coming out. Oh, tell them where those couple people who aren't following you to stay tapped in with your social media.
Yes, everybody, you can go to AuntyAngie'sHouse.com or AuntyAngie'sHouse.org to keep up with everything we're doing. We'll have our restoration day on March 1st, where we're renovating our 4-unit complex for the mothers and the babies. Please sign up to be a part of that. On IG, I am the Angie Stanton, and on X, I'm the Aunty Angie.
Okay, I love it. Make sure that you guys stay locked in with her. See the stuff that's going on. Great things in the horizon. I appreciate you pulling up on me once again.
Of course.
Always. She family, y'all. This is the Reec Show Live. Appreciate y'all pulling up.
It's time to see who's with Reec.
Hey.